So yesterday I saw the movie Tony Takitani, and this is a movie I saw already once a long time ago, about circa 2005, through the Japanese streaming site or something. So I remember that, and I remember the story a little bit about this particular woman who is kind of a compulsive buyer of clothes, her clothes, or shoes and so forth. And so I remember that. But seeing yesterday for second time, I would say, I really felt that I really think this is more than that story that I remember. And it's very, very, sometimes philosophical story, sometimes very strange, quirky story. And you know that this is based on Haruki Murakami's short story. Haruki Murakami went to Maui, in Hawaiian island, one day, and then he saw this particular sign of the Tony Takitani there. Apparently Tony Takitani was like trying to get the vote from Maui residents or something. So Tony is the English name, then Takitani is a Japanese name. So evidently this particular person is probably Japanese descent, but born in Hawaii or something like that. Second or third generation. And so anyway, so he kind of concocted this particular story. And this story, Takitani was, I think, a musician during the World War II. And he's a saxophonist, jazz saxophonist. And so he was playing there in Shanghai, maybe in China. And after the war, he came back to Japan, and he got married, and he had this son. And so he named Tony because one of his a fan or colleague, a jazz musician, suggested Tony is the name of this particular son. So he named it Tony Takitani. And so Tony Takitani grew up with his father in Japan, and he was very, very good at drawing thing, especially mechanical type of thing. So that's also became his profession, and he became this very precise illustrator, became very popular in Japan. And so one day when he was inviting this particular the publisher or somebody, this particular young, very slim, beautiful woman showed up there, and that's the beginning of the love affair. And so after a while they got married, and but she evidently had this compulsive behavior of buying her clothes continuously, although she's not wearing that much. But so their house accumulated with many, many clothes. And but Tony Takitani was a very successful illustrator, and he just loved this wife, and so he just let her do that, but suggesting that maybe she shouldn't buy so many clothes. And she is also listening that that's true, that my addictive behavior is not good. But when she is on the way home from the returning some of the clothes because she felt guilty, but by going to school, so she went to the store to return some of the clothes. So the rest of it maybe I shouldn't talk about it that much because it's a spoiler. So, but anyway, so this particular movie, of course, written by Haruki Murakami, and the music of this particular movie was by Ryuichi Sakamoto, and his music was very kind of a minimalistic type of music there all through. It's very nice ambience, creating music, and this director is called Jun Ichikawa, and I don't know much about him. I think he did a great, you know, directing here. It was very, very, I would say, along the line of this mood of Haruki Murakami. Haruki Murakami becoming more and more popular in Japan at that time, and worldwide, I would say. And but his story was a little bit different from ordinary Japanese, fiction writer. His story is more or less like a I know how to describe it. It's very strange, and many things happen in the story, one after the other, and but it's also depicting some strong content there. Sometimes philosophical, sometimes strong story or whatever. Uh, I at that time, around 2005, I didn't know much about him. I haven't read any of his books or anything. So I just watched, because he was very popular at that time, and his movie depicting, the pretty much like a same type of like a very strange type of story, and I liked it there. But that's the end of it. And long after that, I became a reader of Haruki Murakami's fiction. So Haruki Murakami's fiction is not, this particular story is not representing his whole over, I would say, over, yeah, because his this short story depicting a very kind of a strange story is not his whole repertoire of writing, I would say. So anyway, but I like this particular story as of now, because this particular movie is well done, and remember that Drive My Car movie. Hidetoshi Nishijima was playing this particular playwright or whatever in that particular movie, but he is narrating in this particular movie. This particular movie is constructed as like a short story, like somebody narrating this whole short story all through. So you can see their psychological, mind, and how the Takitani, what he's thinking or something like that by this narration. So it's easy to understand, and also I would say maybe you can get into the Haruki Murakami's world through this particular movie, probably. I would say this is more representative of Haruki Murakami than any other Haruki Murakami's movie. The Burning, for example, was also very, very representative. Like a very strange thing happening in their life or something like that. And but that's very, very intriguing and interesting, fun to read those stories. And of course, the Drive My Car, there's a couple of story intertwines there, and that also very, very interesting by Haruki Murakami's power of the story making, I would say. Yeah, so this particular movie is available in